Okay, friends, let's keep on going down the line here. 5 plus 3. Okay, so nobody needs a calculator to do 5 plus 3. You just call it 8. And again, why is it 8? Because you're increasing 5, addition, by 3. So you start with 5 and you go pop, 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 and you get 8. Okay, now let's just remember what addition means. What it means to add. Adding means to increase the size of something by a given amount. So you take a number and add a positive number to it. You're going to move to the right because you are increasing the size of the first number. So down here, negative 5 plus 3. You're starting with a negative, and that's okay, but you're going to increase it by 3. So you're starting at negative 5, increasing it by 3. Boop, boop, boop. You're now at negative 2. That is larger than negative 5. You did increase what you had. Negative 3 plus 3. Same exact idea. You're going to start here at negative 3, and you're going to add 3 things to it. 1, 2, 3, and you're at 0. So when you add a positive, you're moving to the right on the number line. By definition, you are increasing whatever you started with. Now, this next one might be a little bit weird. 5 plus a negative 3. And you might even ask yourself, why would we ever need to add a negative number? Well, we'll get to that in a second. Negative numbers rule number 1 up there says when you add a positive number, move to the right. What if you add a negative number? Well, let's revisit what negative numbers really are. Let's go back to our number line, and let's talk about negative 1 again. We spoke of negative 1 in the last video as being to the left of 0, which is correct. Just like positive 1 is to the right of 0. But do you see how they share something? Negative 1 and positive 1 are the same distance from 0. That's because negative 1 is the exact mirror opposite of positive 1. Negative 2 is the opposite of positive 2. A very helpful way of thinking about negative numbers is use the word opposite. You can call it negative 2, or you can call it the opposite of 2. And when you think of it opposite, 5 plus negative 3 is going to have to act the opposite of 5 plus positive 3. With 5 plus positive 3, you move to the right 3. But 5 plus negative 3, you're going to move to the left 3. And what I've done is I've encapsulated that in negative numbers rule number 2. When you add a negative number to any number, move to the left, however many spaces the negative number tells you to. So positive numbers, adding positive numbers, move you to the right. Adding negative numbers are going to move you to the left. So 5 plus negative 3, I'm going to start at 5. 1, 2, 3. 5 plus negative 3 is going to give you 2. Now, some of you are thinking, wait a minute, Sean, wait a minute. That's the same as 5 minus 3. We'll come back to that, promise. It is the same as 5 minus 3. You're correct. We'll come back to that in a second. Now, a couple more examples. How about negative 5 plus a negative 3? Well, we had negative 5 plus 3 up here. And that meant we started with negative 5 and then went to the right 3 spaces. Same thing down here, except we're going to go to the left 3 spaces because negative 3 operates the opposite as positive 3. So negative 5, boop, 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 drops us down to negative 8. All right. This last one down here, negative 5 minus 3. This number 14 is going to have the exact same value as what you got in 13. It's going to equal to negative 8. But why? Why does this subtraction have the same result as adding an opposite? And it comes down to what addition and subtraction mean. Addition means to increase something, whereas subtraction means to decrease something. However, writing the addition of a negative number has to imply the opposite of the addition of a positive number. So the reason these last two are the same is because really they're telling you to do the same thing. Negative number rule number 2 says to add a negative means to move to the left. And that's exactly what subtraction tells you to do. And I encourage you. You can always use your good buddy Google. Let's get in here and get a Google window up. And you can do negative 5 plus negative 3, that's equal to negative 8. Or you could do negative 5 minus 3, and it'll happily tell you negative 8. And the reason is, quite simply, adding a negative number is the same as subtracting a positive number. Cool! Let's move on a little bit further.